Hey everyone, oh, I just tapped the mic. Hey everyone, it's me, Holly. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be filming another podcast. Podcasts aren't a regular thing around here. They come and go. I think I do one every month or so. Not month, oh my god, every few months. I don't even know at this point. My first ever podcast was actually a back to school advice video last year, and today I'm going to be doing another back to school advice video, as I am now going into year 11, so I have a lot more advice to give, and I think there needs to be an updated version, because a lot of my advice last year will not be the same as this year, although some may be similar. You know what I mean? But yeah, so today the topics are literally just how everyone's feeling about going back to school, year 7 advice, year 8 and 9 advice, year 10 advice, and how I'm feeling. If you are a year 11, I don't have any advice for you because I am also going into year 11. But if there is any past year 11s who want to give me advice and many of the other year 11s advice, please comment them down below, because I need the advice. I'm kind of stressing, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, whatever year you're in, I will be giving you some advice that I wish I'd had and heard, and also stuff that I was told about, which I can pass on to you. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's many people that won't have anyone giving them advice. I know when I started secondary school, I didn't have many people to give me advice that was relevant, because obviously people had obviously given me advice about school and stuff that was obviously useful, but there was nothing really relevant, because my parents would give me advice, but obviously they went to school a long time before me. But yeah, so I think we should just get into it. So obviously I'm posting this Monday, the week that many people will be going back to school. If you're not going back to school that week, it will be the week after probably. I think that's right, because I'm in the UK. I don't really know about any other country, but yeah, this is very much UK school advice. But obviously, if you are from other countries, you can obviously listen in and stuff like that. I will be giving general advice, but then also specific advice. So yeah, but obviously I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, because this is the week everyone's going back to school. So obviously this might be short, notice, not short notice, what's the word, late advice, very late advice, but I think hopefully this will reach you before you go back to school or you go into school, because I know there will be some people going into year 7 watching this today. Hello, welcome. But yeah, that's what I'm going to start with. How we're all feeling. Comment down below how you're feeling about starting school. This is a very safe space. We will be just discussing how we're feeling, really. So if you want to comment down below any worries you have, normally I will sit there and answer them. In previous videos I have gone in depth with my answers. I've had full-on conversations with people in the comments. So yeah, honestly, go for it in that comment section and just ramble about anything. I've been doing it for a while. But yeah, so obviously I'm feeling very stressed about going back to school, like many other people. It's such a normal thing to be stressed. I don't know, obviously there's elements of it that's exciting. You can't deny it, whether you like or hate school. Obviously there will be people that completely hate it, and there will be hardly anything that will get them excited. But obviously most people will have a little tiny bit of excitement, whether you want to admit it or not. I know I was one to not want to admit that I was a tiny bit excited to go back to school. I feel now, obviously it's great being on summer holidays, and I'm loving it, and I do not want to think about going back to school, or I don't want to go back to school. I feel it's necessary to talk about it, because it's a very obvious thing that's happening, and if we don't talk about it, that's a lot of feelings that are bottled up and won't get solved, But yeah, I was one to just never really want to acknowledge it. But I feel this year I'm not really too, obviously I'm a little bit excited to, see my friends and actually get into the year, because it's always a slow start to actually get into it. But I'm also very, very nervous to actually be in year 11, because obviously this is the year that is crucial. This is my final year of secondary school. I'm not even gonna think about that, because I feel in year 7, year 8, year 9, even year 10, I was always thinking year 11's so far away. Like, I'm just not, why am I even worried about it? It's so far away. I'm here now. Like, I was the type of kid that watched the study tubers. I was there watching Jack Edwards. Is that his name? Yeah, Jack Edwards. Oh my god, I cannot get this wrong. Who else? Lydia Violet? Okay, I'm messing up all these names. Okay, Ruby Granger. Unjaded Jade. You know what I mean? Like, I was there watching everyone talking about school and all of that stuff, and I was just so excited to actually just finish school, and like, I was so productive at one point in my life. I'm not even going to think about that. I'm really talking with my hands. But yeah, and now it's here. Like, I would watch YouTube videos about people on like opening their results, and I've just recently filmed one of those videos for my English literature result, which, just to mention, I feel so great about. I just completely forgot about it until this very moment. Very great. Love that. Love that for me. Go watch the video if you want to find out what I got. But yeah, so obviously, yeah, I'm really like, it's gone so fast. I will say that now, but obviously when I was younger, it did not go fast at all. But yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel, because obviously it's going to be a very jam-packed year. Like, I don't think I'm going to have much free time at all. I do say that, but I am not very sociable, so I may not actually. There will be times when I have free time, like, I'm not even going to lie to you, but it's going to be very busy. I'm telling you that now. But yeah, I feel like we should just get into the advice, because that's what you guys are here for. You're not here to listen about me. So yeah, obviously, year 7 advice. I am going to start from everything. I'm just going to go through everything. I've probably said it a few times before. There is obviously going to be new things that I want to talk about, things that I've already said on my channel. But yeah, if you're going into year 7, genuinely, obviously you're going to worry about it, but there is nothing to worry. There is a few things to worry about, like, obviously, that you're going to worry about. I'm going to be plain. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you shouldn't be worried, it's going to be completely fine. Obviously, there's going to be bumps in the road. It's not going to be smooth sailing when you start school. Like, people can tell you, oh, it's going to be completely fine. You possibly may not find it fine to begin with. I don't know. It literally depends on the person. But all I'm saying is, I was one to be very nervous about starting secondary school. I was very attached to my primary school. I still am now. Like, I am attached to that primary school. So going into a new school was very hard. But I'm telling you, when I went for that first day, even first week, it was very exciting. I thought I felt so much more grown up. Like, I was just living my life. I was like, I am in a big school now. Like, look at me go. But yeah, there is elements of excitement that you can get out of it, and I feel like maybe try and hang on to that excitement, because it will make it so much more easier. If you're always constantly thinking, oh, this is going to be so bad, it's going to be terrible, like, everything's going to go wrong, that's when you start to believe it, and then you think everything's going wrong, when really obviously things can be going wrong, but there's a lot of stuff that's just like playing in your head, obviously. But yeah, if you like, obviously, excitement, getting your first timetable, having new year lessons, having new people to talk to. I know many people might not want to talk to people, not really be good at making friends. Other people will be great at making friends. You've just got to see how it goes. And I'm like, in the moment, like, obviously year 7 was ages ago for me. It feels like ages ago for me. But like, obviously at the time it felt like very, like, obviously I was very present, but obviously when you get older, like, you forget about all that stuff. You think back to like, oh, how did I make friends with them? And then you're just like, oh, I don't know, like, it doesn't even matter. But in the time, like, it's very stressful. But yeah, year 7 advice, I recommend, obviously, don't get yourself too, like, focused on things that could go bad. Maybe just, if you get yourself excited about things, because I know for me, I'm a person who's very excited about stationery, notebooks, new bag, like, find something that you might find excitement out of. Maybe your way of, like, having, like, the thing that makes you excited is maybe meeting new people. Just think about all the new people that you're going to meet, and how much fun you're going to have with new friends, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But yeah, if you want advice on how to make friends, this is a thing that I wish I knew. Because I'm one to not really want to talk to many people or make friends with people. But although I say that, I made a lot of friends that I didn't even realize at the time I was making. Like, I would just be there, like, talking to people, having conversations in my new classrooms, and then have just made a new friend. Like, and I feel like if you try and, like, maybe be, like, obviously be friendly to everyone, but if you're, like, maybe sitting next to someone who, like, seems like they are also quite friendly, or maybe looks like they want to, like, talk to you or something, maybe, like, go up and say, like, hi, or, like, what primary school did you come from, or, like, hi, what lesson do you have next on timetable, or, like, maybe, like, look at each other's timetables and see what lessons you might have together and stuff like that. That could be a way of, like, starting conversation. Obviously there will be people that probably won't want to talk to you, and that's not, like, a bad thing or anything. Like, there's gonna be people that don't want to talk to you. Like, it's not because of, like, you, like, it's just because they don't want to talk to you, or anyone in that matter. Only their friends. But yeah, and also groups form quite quickly, I would say, but obviously people are still trying to find out who their friends are and stuff, but little groups will form, and then it's very much a year of just getting settled. Like, go through, like, not go through friends, but, like, you know, make new friends, and, like, don't feel like once you've got a few friends, just stop making friends. Like, keep making friends. Like, obviously it's easier to say than to be done. But don't, like, obviously, if you're not happy in your friend group, like, obviously that, like, means you don't want to hang around with those people anymore. And yeah, stuff like that. So, that's my advice on making friends. I don't know why I'm the one giving advice on making friends, but I struggle to myself. But as you get older in the year, as you grow, like, as you go through each year, you're gonna, like, be aware of everyone and, like, kind of know kind of know everyone. Like, there's gonna be people you don't know anything about, but you're still, like, kind of, like, they're kind of familiar to you. So as you go through the years, like, I don't think you would be talking to everyone unless you're super, like, extroverted and very, like, confident and stuff. I know I'm a very shy person, so I'm not talking to everyone, but I kind of am, like, if someone talks to me, I'll be like, oh, you know, like, hello, you know. But yeah, so what else do year 7s need to know? It's stationery and stuff, like equipment. It depends on the school, but go onto your school's website or see if they sent you an email about, like, a list of stationery or, like, stuff that you need for school, because I feel like that's gonna be important. But I'm telling you now, like, obviously, if you are excited about stationery stuff like I am, like, go full out, get whatever you want. But I'm telling you now, you don't need to get a lot of stuff. I know, like, obviously it's important to have pens and pencils, ruler, rubber, and I think that's pretty much it. That's the important stuff. But if you want, you can go get highlighters and stuff like that. I know they could be pretty useful in my lessons. I do like to highlight all my titles and stuff. I don't do color-coded stuff, but I just highlight because I like it. There's literally no thought process behind it. I just like to highlight. So if that's you, go for it. And you're going to think maybe if you go into school for the first day and you see other people, they might have less stationery than you or more stationery than you. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like, you're going to use what you need to use. Like, if you find that you've got something that you don't even use, take it out of your pencil case. It's not worth carrying around. I'm telling you now, like, in year 7, I bring around colored pencils and colored pens with me. Not needed at all. Like, I'm telling you, it was not needed unless you do, like, art GCSE, which you wouldn't be doing in year 7. Like, I don't think you really need to carry that around because it's just extra stuff, really, that you rarely use. Like, I know maybe every 2, 3, even 4 weeks we'd do a lesson where I might want to colour something in. Like, why am I carrying it around if I don't need it, you know? Also, with bags, I really recommend a backpack. I know, because at my school we have to have a backpack now. Like, you can't have a handbag, but obviously handbags, like, there's nothing like wrong with them at all. I don't know. Do people say they're not? I think they are completely fine. I actually like the look of most of the handbags, but like, obviously it is like a lot of weight on one arm. I feel like a backpack, it might be more like useful. Obviously because it's on both shoulders, and like you know, it's probably like more comfortable. I don't know, it just depends on you really. But make sure you get a bag that fits, a PE kit, couple of books, because you never know if you're gonna have to take them home, or a pencil case. No small bags, like tiny bags, no, it's obvious, but no. They will be the bane of your existence, because I'm telling you now, I have a massive bag at the moment. I'm thinking about getting another one, because it is like, obviously, like, I love it, but it's just too unnecessarily big, and like, I know that, but it was great. Okay, it had 6 compartments. I don't care what you say. It was lovely. I was living life with them, but I still was struggling to fit things in my bag. It was weird. I feel like the bag was just long rather than actually just tall. Yeah, but yeah, just make sure, like, it is the worst thing when you can't fit something in your bag. Like, you're just like pushing it, like shoving it in to get it in. Like, that should not be happening. Like, that's not great. So yeah, just make sure when you get it, maybe look at some reviews. YouTube videos are very helpful, just to make sure it's okay. And I would recommend a black backpack. Obviously, get colors if you want, or you are allowed to, but black is very much just like fits with most uniforms, and like, it's just, you will probably like use it a lot more. I don't know, but yeah, that's a safe option, I'd say. But yeah, other than that, like, maybe I'll give first day advice. Like, obviously it's going to be stressful, but you've just got to like push through. The first few weeks, obviously, you're going to be scary. Like, you're going to have to make your way around new buildings you've never been to before. But it's just a whole thing about getting settled into new places and change, like accepting change. That's a very hard thing for many people to do, including me. But just like getting used to the environment is obviously going to need to happen. You shouldn't feel like obviously going in, you shouldn't be like, oh, I really need to memorize where everything is right now. That's what getting used to things is all about. Like, you go somewhere new, and over time you will progressively get used to the environment and place and stuff like that, so you will like feel more comfortable. Like, you're not, like, you shouldn't be completely comfortable when you're there for the first few weeks. Like, obviously it's nice to have, obviously teachers should make you feel comfortable there, but you shouldn't like feel like you need to be completely comfortable where, like, obviously it's a new place. Like, it's going to feel weird and scary. Don't feel like that's wrong. It's completely fine to have being in this new environment feel scary. Like, I don't know, do people say it's like, I don't think anyone is completely comfortable in the first few weeks, because you still got to get used to everything. And I'm in year 10. I'm going into year 11. There's still things that in my school I have not been to. Like, I don't know where it is. Like, the teacher asking me, like, if the teacher ever asked me to go and take attendance to the attendance place, I'm telling you, I don't know where I'm going, because I don't go there. And I feel like that's the thing about being kind of like shy-ish. Like, if you're quite shy like me, it will be very, because like, I'm still getting used to, like, not still getting used, because obviously I'm used to being that, but obviously like, I'm still kind of learning new things every single time in there. So like, honestly, if you don't know a few places in your building are on after the first year, that is fine. Completely 100% completely fine. It's normal. Obviously there's other people that will literally go into the place and feel like they know everywhere, and like will literally do everything and be everywhere and know everywhere. But people are different. Like, don't compare yourself to anyone else, because they're gonna be different to you no matter what. But yeah, I don't know if there's any more advice that I should talk about. Please let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll answer a few comments of people in year 7 who are talking, like, got any more advice, like literally anything you want to know, write in the comments. I will have an answer to it unless it's specific to your school. But yeah, year 8 and 9 advice. Year 9 for me, I was not in year 9, barely. Like, my year 9 was very much just Christmas time. Well, September to Christmas time. Then I went off school due to COVID for the whole year. So, am I really too qualified about year 9? But I feel like it was very similar to year 8, or would have been very similar to year 8. But yeah, I'm just going to talk about year 8 and 9 in general. That's why I've mixed them together. So, year 8 was when I chose my options, I think, and then I'd done them in year 9. Yeah, that's right. So in year 8, I was still doing like all the things that was given to me. So at my school, they made us do food tech, technology, what else? Drama and art. Like, it was like you had to do that in year 7 and 8, but then you could choose for year 9 whether you wanted to stay doing some of those bits and then some extra bits, you know. Every school has different options to choose from. Like, there's going to be things that are very similar between schools. Like, many schools will have like a food tech thing, like food health and nutrition. I don't know what your school calls it. There's going to be schools that have that. Art as well is a very, like, one that most schools have. Technology, like a lot of that stuff. Like, obviously I do dance at my school. Many schools might not do dance. I don't know. Like, it kind of depends on the school. They will have obviously options I didn't get given at different schools. But yeah, choosing your options is obviously like a very important thing. You're going to have to be ready to study this specific topic for the rest of your time until GCSEs. Like, this is what you're going to be graded on. Like, you're going to have to make sure that you really like the subject you're choosing, you will feel comfortable with it, and you will not want to give up on it. Because obviously with things like English, science and maths, like, although people might not like it, you know you have to do it. But with all these other subjects, it's like you have the choice. And obviously many schools choose between history and geography. I chose history because basically, right, both, I would say look at your grades as well, because it shows you how focused, or like not focused, how like you're doing in that lesson and what you could be aiming for. Okay, what you could be aiming for. So in history and geography, I was getting pretty much the same grade in year 7 and 8. I think it was roughly like grade 7s. Obviously that's for year 7 and 8. Like, I might not get that in my GCSE, but in year 7 and 8, they were giving me predicted 7s on both things. So it was very hard to make the decision. And I started to really like geography by the end of year 8, or to the time that I was choosing my options. And that was why it was so hard. Obviously, if you get like maybe a 7 in history and maybe a 5 in geography, like, that's still good, but obviously you can see the difference. But I would generally choose what you feel is most fun and that you will feel like you would be more focused on. So like, and also I'll talk about history. Like, it's very hard, I'm not gonna lie. Like, obviously I feel like it might be easy to get maybe a high grade, I'm not too sure, but there's so much revision, and I literally, at some points, most of my lessons in year 10, I was falling asleep. Not falling asleep, but you know what, like, zoning completely out. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's boring. I don't know what your school will be doing because obviously there's topics that they have to go through. Because obviously in year 7 and 8, it's just literally like you learn about whatever in history or geography that they want you to learn about. But then in year 9, 10, 11, it's like topics that are going to be in your GCSE. For me, in history, it's Weimar Germany, Germany, medicine throughout the years, I don't know, the Battle of Hastings, that type of stuff, and the Cold War. Don't even get me started. I don't even know if I've said any of that right. I genuinely, like, there's like, obviously, I done medicine in year 9 and the start of year 10. Don't even ask me anything about that because I forgot it all. There's a lot of information. So if you're one to not be good with information, I don't know. I would think about that. I don't know much about what geographers do. So anyone who does geography, let me know. But yeah, it's going to be a hard decision. But yeah, and also I would definitely recommend a pros and cons list. I did that, which helped me decide between media, drama, and dance. There's different categories, like different blocks you could choose from, and I had to make the decision between a few subjects. Health and social was an obvious one for me. Like, that's what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do it. Your school will probably have like a careers day when you can look through each subject anyway, so you can kind of see what you're going to be learning about and stuff like that. But yeah, I knew I wanted to do health and social. I still weighed up my options. Like, obviously, think about what job you may want to have. If you don't know what job you want to have, like, just think about stuff that you're interested in that might be in the topic. But yeah, for dance, like, that was one of my most risky decisions ever. Like, risky. I'd say that because dance. I literally cried on one of my holidays because I'd chosen dance and it was in the summer holiday before I go back into year 9 and have to do the options I chose. I cried because I was so scared and actually nervous to do it because I knew none of my friends chose it. I would not know many people in there. And yeah, it was just very scary because also dance is a very much like you would have to perform and stuff like that. And that's very nerve-wracking for many people, including me. I feel like I'm more comfortable in my dance class now, and I actually really like most of the people, well, all of the people in my class. I don't think there's anyone I don't like because, I don't know, I feel like everyone's so nice. I'm sorry, I'm getting too into that. I don't know, but yeah, like, I feel comfortable, but I will still be nervous, obviously, doing, like, dancing in front of everyone, but I feel like do not choose what your friends are choosing unless you wanted to do that as well. Because obviously with dance, I chose it because I wanted to do it myself. No one else I knew was doing it. Like, I was scared I would have no one to pair up with. I've now made friends in that class. So you will literally just make new friends. It's completely fine. You can have your other friends, obviously, that you go and have lunch with and stuff. But obviously, it's nice to have friends in your class and stuff. But most of my classes now, obviously I'm friends with people, but I wouldn't say, like, I'm actually close with anyone. Because, obviously, like, my friends, all of my close friends are in the other half of the year. There's 2 halves of my year. All of my other friends are in the other half. So, when I'm in, like, English, maths, science, like, I'm just pretty much alone at this point. Pretty much alone. But, you know, I feel like you get more social when you get more comfortable in the school. Back to year 8 and year 9. This year, I feel year 8 was my best year ever. Like, I would do anything to relive year 8. I don't know, it was great. I love it. Obviously, like, the lessons were obviously boring. Like, I don't know, it kind of depended on the lesson. But year 8 was just great because you don't have to worry about anything. Like, year 7, you're worrying about starting the new school and settling in and making new friends. Year 8, you've got your friendship group pretty much everyone has maybe a friendship group, I don't know. But you've pretty much settled into the school. You're just learning stuff that you probably won't use in year 9 because you're not in your GCSE years yet, so you are just learning stuff. I don't know, it was just great. Do not take it seriously. Don't take that advice too seriously, actually, because I don't want to get in trouble. Take it, obviously you've got to learn stuff. Like, don't push it all aside. Like, actually try and focus. But if you're like maybe slowing down a bit, I wouldn't worry too bad. It does not matter. Year 9, I think I literally, like, most of the stuff I was learning about, I did not do in year 8. Like, obviously, I started doing English language in year 9. English literature. So in year 8, I was reading maybe a few stories or writing a few stories in English. But then in year 9, I just went into literature where I would be reading whole new stories that I would even, like, we read Of Mice of Men. Is that it? In year 8. Didn't even matter. didn't even matter. But, you know, yeah, I feel like don't take it so seriously. And if you're in year 9, obviously this is the year that you've got, like, you're doing the options. I don't know, is it the same for every school? Maybe, I think there's some schools that you choose your options in year 9. But if you've already chosen your options, obviously focus. Like, okay, so my camera decided to cut out. I think it cuts out at 30 minutes of recording, and maybe because it thinks maybe I've just left my camera on by accident. I don't know, but yeah, so this video is unedited apart from the fact I've had to put these 2 parts together. But yeah, I think I was talking about year 9. Obviously year 9 is very, like, it should be kind of a little, obviously it's normal for it to be stressful because obviously GCSEs, like, stuff like that, like, you've obviously got to think about it. But I feel like it's kind of like obviously it's the middle between, like, all the years pretty much. Like, you've got year 7 and 8, where year 7 and 8 you're doing, like, random options, like, it doesn't really matter. Year 9, like, you are doing your GCSE stuff, but it's not as important. But year 10 and 11, it is very important to be focusing. But yeah, in year 9, I feel like I done a lot of coursework for health and social in year 9, which was important because I needed that. Why am I doing this with my thing? That's I think that's what Boris Johnson does. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm not going to use my hands for the rest of this video, okay? Now that that happened. Okay, moving on. But yeah, so, I forgot. Oh, wait. Wait. Oh my god, I literally know what I'm wanting to say, I'm just not saying it. So yeah, it's like, obviously, yeah, I done quite a lot of coursework and stuff in year 9, and that was great because now I don't have to do that in year 11, obviously, because that's going towards my grade anyway. And also, like, I know people are like, save every piece of work you've done, revise a lot, but I don't really know, like, how that works. Like, can someone explain to me how I should be revising? Like, obviously, your way of revising is your own. Like, you can't force yourself to revise a certain way if it's not going in your head. For me, I'm a very visual learner, but I still haven't found a way for me to learn things and actually revise. I feel like it's very much just I read things. That's not good, I don't think, because that doesn't actually go in my head. I just say it does. Yes, I'm real and I'm honest. But yeah, so I don't know. People will tell you to maybe make revision notes. I don't know. Is that important? I didn't do that. I just basically, because obviously mine was a lot of online school as well, just try and process some of the information. Like, honestly, wait, because English literature. Oh God, what was that? English literature. Like, I did the GCSE in year 10. I obviously studied it in year 9 as well, and I was like learning it about it. I didn't fully understand it and actually know it until year 10, but I'm so glad I had learned it in year 9 and actually tried to process it and learn it, because I feel like you need to go over things multiple times, and it only just clicked with me, like, the whole, like, all the poems I did, Macbeth, like, it only just clicked to me, and all the notes only just clicked to me right before I was doing each exam thing, or like a few weeks before the term of doing the exam stuff, because I don't know, it just needed to be put into my head multiple times. And I feel like year 9 is very much a year to just learn everything, like, whether you understand it or not, just, you're gonna learn everything, and then you'll be taught it over and over, like, not over and over again, but over again in year 10, or you'll be, like, adding stuff to it. And I feel like that's very important for you to be, like, actually learning it. Just don't push it aside, because it's very important. But yeah, online school is very hard. I really hope I don't have to do that again. I did love being home, but it was very not good. But yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. Like, you might get a bit of advice from, like, just listening to the year 10 bit, because I feel like that's just going to be very similar. Like, just in general, if you're going back to school, I feel like try your hardest to be as focused as you can, but obviously mental health reasons might make you less focused, or I don't know, like, you shouldn't force yourself, to do anything if you're generally to the point where your mental health is getting so bad that you just can't, like, that's completely fine. Like, you should be looking after yourself more than schoolwork. I don't know who needs to tell you this. I'm going to tell you it. You should be looking after yourself more. Your teachers will probably, or like your head teachers and stuff like that, will probably be like, you've got to make sure you're studying and etc, etc. If that sounds like too much for you, then it is. You need to take a step back. Like, it's normal, okay, to like need a break from everything, because at points it will get very stressful. But yeah, just try as hard as you can, because I feel like you can only try as much as you can. Did that make sense? No, you can only try as much as you can. Like, does that make sense? You can only do as much as you can. Like, you can't force yourself to be anymore, like do anymore, because that's unhealthy. But yeah, year 10 advice. Hello. Year 10 was a little bit of online school and then the rest at school. I don't know, there's very much moments of year 10 that I hold very dear to me, because I don't know, the end of year 10 was just my favorite ever. And I actually really enjoyed my last few weeks of year 10. I feel like the last term, once I'd done my English literature exam, I'm going to call it English lit from, oh my god, I can't even speak. I'm going to call it English lit from now on, because that is too much. After that, and maybe a few weeks on from that, I just started to actually just, I don't want to say it, but kind of enjoy going to school a little bit, just because I actually made friends that I actually liked. And I'm actually really annoyed because I was so right, my table at school, like, we had tables for COVID, like, it was like you had to be on that table so that they can do track and trace and stuff. A lot of this video is just going to be mumbling and like messing up words. So that they could do track and trace and stuff like that, and it will be easier. I made so many new friends. But yeah, it was it was so much fun. Like, I made so many friends, and I just really enjoyed my last few weeks of school. And like, that was weird for me because I've never like actually enjoyed going to school as much as I did then. But yeah, like, year 10 is obviously, it's gonna be stressful. That's normal. You're literally in year 10, like, you're about to go into year 11, like, but I feel like it's very much like each year your teacher is like, oh, you're going to be year 11 soon, make sure you focus, and you don't actually think about that until you're actually going into year 11, which I'm about to go into year 11, and now I'm thinking about it. Yeah. That's scary, isn't it? It's really scary. But yeah, I feel like just keep on top of things. Like, I definitely did that this year, well, last year. When I say year, I'm talking about school year. Last year is the year I kind of slowed down a little bit, put a little break on it, because it was after COVID. I was just not feeling it. Because like, there was many lessons I just was bored in. I was just thinking how much nicer it was on online school. I think it was because I found that I actually learned way better on online learning when I was only in certain lessons. Like, for French, I enjoyed online learning so much. I was tapping away in that chat. I've actually learned stuff. But then I went back to school and realised that I don't have the confidence when I'm in real life. So yeah, I was actually asking so many questions, tapping away. But then it got to real life, and then I'm like, sorry, I've forgotten how to answer simple questions. French, I can't even think about that because I just don't even know the last time I spoke French. Because of my brace, like, I never got asked to speak it. Don't even get me started because I can't pronounce hardly anything. Like, je m'appelle Holly, like, quelquefois. That was my favorite word. I don't know. Someone who's watching this who's French is going to hate me, and actually other people who don't even speak French are going to hate me. I can't. But yeah, so like, obviously I slowed down. Like, I was very much study study girl, studying all the time, doing, like, being motivated all the time in year 7, year 8, year 9. Then I got to year 10, and then I was just like, guys, studying all the time is too much. I'm not gonna do that. Apparently, I should be making revision notes right now for year 11. I don't know who told me this. I saw it on TikTok, like, if you're going into year 11, you should be revising and going over your notes or making notes because it's so much easier. I don't want the hassle. Like, I'll do it when it's important, but that's not good. I don't even know, like, it's to the point that I don't even know what I need to learn, or there is too much to learn. I don't know. I have a whole big box of old revision notes. Okay, that should do me fine. I don't know. But yeah, like, year 10 will just be another year of boredom, probably. Just try and maybe, like, obviously I got a whole new friendship group, pretty much. Like, I, like, obviously, like, kind of drifted away from old friends who I'm still friends with now, but obviously, like, you get, like, you have friends, but then you have close friends, and I feel like it's so natural. Like, you shouldn't feel like, oh, I'm going through so many friends. Like, you're not, well, unless you're not friends with them, but like, if you're still friends with them, that's completely fine. It's just natural, really, isn't it? Like, I don't know, but yeah, like, I don't know. I don't really know anymore. Yeah, I'm feeling very stressed. I don't, like, obviously I want to go back in some ways because just get it over and done with. Like, every single year I'm like, I can't wait for when I'm leaving school. It's coming around now where I've got pretty, like, less than a year left because I think I finish earlier because of GCSEs and stuff. And I'm now thinking maybe I don't want to leave. I do want to leave because I actually hate my school. Like I dislike my school because I just don't really agree with many of the things that the school are and have as rules and stuff like that. But other than that, I just really just don't know, because I get attached to things, right? And I'm still attached to my primary school, as I say, at the big age of 15. But I don't know. I don't know how attached I will be to secondary school, though, because, like, I don't know. I'm feeling like I will be pretty attached. Like, I have my form group. Like, I had my form group in year 10 from, like, the whole way from year 7 to year 10. I cried when I finished year 10 because I have to go into a new form, which is fine, but I'm just thinking why, because I only grew to like my form when it had to, like, separate, like, why, but yeah, I am just not really sure what I should be doing right now. I feel like I'm very underprepared, but I'm just excited to get my bag. I'm gonna try and get, like, a new bag because I don't know, the one I have at the moment, like, I was feeling very not great about myself when I went to school because it's just, like, my bag was so long. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, when it was filled up, like, it was long, and I was literally, like, I was taking up 2 people's space in the lineup to classes. Like, I was not feeling that. Like, obviously it's obvious to take up, like, obviously your bag is there, it's gonna be big, but it was just long. Like, it just kind of went down like this. It wasn't, I'm just saying, it wasn't a great, it's like, it was a good bag, but just, like, maybe not anymore. Maybe I'm feeling something else. I just love getting new stuff, and it just makes me more happy for school. Like, generally getting this pencil case made me just so 10 times more happy in life, genuinely. But yeah, I don't know if I want to end this yet, because, like, it's been great, like, giving advice, and obviously, general advice, just try to find the small little bits of excitement that you have. Obviously, people will have big, like, huge excitement to go into school or go back to school. Other people won't have excitement. It depends on who you are. But try and find things that you might find exciting, and it will just make it a lot easier. If there's any more advice that I need to be given, please let me know down in the comments. I will be given that. this has been great to talk about. I am also getting a dry throat because I've spoken for so long and don't have water. But also, let me give advice for GCSEs. I think it's normal to do your spoken language in English. I think it's called that, spoken something, where you do like a speech on something. I don't know what year people normally do it, but I did mine in year 10. I got a distinction on that. I love that. For me, I was so nervous to actually speak in front of people, but I feel like now, like, because I got it over and done with, I'm not thinking about that. I pushed it to the back of my head, out of my mind. I was going to sing a song, but then I realized the lyrics that I was going to sing weren't in the song. But yeah, like, that's stressful. If you're worried about speaking in front of your class, whether you're doing a year 7 presentation, year 8 presentation, year 9, any year, like a GCSE presentation, I don't know. It's going to be nervous, but I feel like practicing it over and over again is what really helped me. Maybe filming yourself just to like know what it feels like to like be how you're perceived and stuff, if that helps you. I did not film myself. I was going to, though. I just didn't have the energy. Perfecting that script to a T, having a revision card, right? I had a few cards with just key points which were in my script in my head. I guess I'm just a born actor. No, I'm joking. But like, the script in my head, I knew what I was saying at every single point. Like, I've practiced it over and over again. I think I practiced it to the point I was going a bit over the top. But just the cards made it, like, if I needed a prompt, I would look at it. Like, there was obviously points where I paused and had to freeze a little because I was just in a bit of shock. But good luck to everyone. Also, expectations. They are the bane of my existence and the bane of many other people's existence. Like, the expectations many put onto you, or like that you have on yourself, are just really, most of the time they are way too high. Sometimes actually not, but like, I feel like a lot of people expect highly of others, and then them in themselves don't feel like they can achieve it. You will do as well as you can do, and I feel like whether you're happy or whether you're not with your result, like, that is literally as good as you could do. Obviously, you can do things to help towards, you know, getting a better grade and stuff. If you want to get a certain grade and you are in the right headspace to be revising all the time and like practicing and, I don't know, just doing all of that stuff, then obviously go for it. That will give you a big boost in getting the grade that you want. But grades don't define you. It doesn't matter. Obviously, it's going to be great if you do well. Obviously, that's going to make you feel good and stuff like that. But if you don't, that's still completely fine. Like, it's completely fine. Like, it shouldn't be like a big thing. Like, if you don't do well, you don't do well. If you do well, you do well. Like, it doesn't matter. You've done as well as you can. And I feel like maybe don't do well isn't really a good way to put it. If you don't get what you were hoping for, that's valid, because obviously you have expectations on yourself. But I feel like try not to set your expectations too high that they are actually unachievable, because I feel like unachievable goals are just horrible, because you know that you will never get them or never reach them, but you have this need or want to do it. And then when it doesn't happen, it just hurts a lot more. Just set realistic goals. Obviously, if you think you can do better, like, obviously, you know how well you can do, really. You will surprise yourself. Maybe you won't. Like, it doesn't matter. And if people are putting too much pressure on you, tell them if you feel confident to you, or just don't listen to anything they say. If they are making you feel like you should be doing better, or you're not doing well enough, or they're not really the best person to be listening to. And I'm telling you now, whatever you get in any test, any think test you do, maybe year 7 test, year 11 test, it doesn't matter. I'm very proud of you, and that's all you really need to hear. Someone is proud of you, and that's me. Other people may be proud of you, but I don't know that. But I do know that I'm proud of you. I don't even know if that makes sense, but yeah. Please comment down below how you're feeling about going back to school. I've really enjoyed talking to you guys, and I will hopefully talk to you again soon. My next video should be a back to school bag haul, and then I'll be doing a first day back at school vlog, because I'm going back on the 6th of September. That's scary. That's in like a week. Goodbye. Why is my tongue? That's disgusting. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you follow all my socials and follow my Twitch, because I do live stream on there, and I will just talk to you guys live for an hour. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.